It's okay.
Apologies, I've really been into that song lately. What's up, everybody? We're gonna do another Natred review today. Hope y'all like my new helmet. So I got a couple things I wanted to go over before we got into the review proper. Just kind of wanted to check in with the people who are watching this nowadays, maybe get a little bit of that audience engagement. So I've been definitely getting more back into fighting myself here recently. It's been super fucking hot, but I've also just like made the time for it and recently became unemployed, so now I have lots of time for it. But I'm just kind of wondering, like, what are you folks working on? So like right now, I've really migrated back towards a focus in fighting of just like doing what works over like maybe like actively trying to improve on things I know that I'm bad at. I kind of just want to like lean back into having fun for a while now. And so basically that's my justification for throwing like 65% leg shots over the past 4 practices, because like so many people I fight know that I like a lot of top quadrant shots. They like, they know that I like throwing flat wrap, stuff like that. So I feel like it's actually also just opened up the ability to like have more legs available to hit. Other than that, I've been like trying to practice twice a week. I'm trying to get ready for my first event back in a long time. Just a little local event called Battle of the Ozarks in Watts, Oklahoma, or like Siloam Springs right there on the border. And it's going to be really hot. It's at the end of July. So I've been trying to get conditioned to the heat and everything. And I was planning on going to Winter War this year, but then I ended up in laid off unemployment land, so now that's kind of up in the air. But yeah, that's kind of where my life is at. So if you want to see me, I'll be out at Battle for the Ozarks, and then I'm going to try to be at Winter War later on. But yeah, what are you guys up to? What are you fighting on right now? What are you fighting with right now? What are you working on? I've kind of migrated back to using a bunch of longer weapons, like I used to when I was a bit younger. Like I have a 40-inch bat and a 41-inch flat blade, and it's just really fun to like be really opportunistic in field fights and pick up shots that I wouldn't be able to with a shorter weapon. Kind of have that extra like range, and also just murder people's legs. And finally, there's been a project that I've kind of been kicking around doing for a long time called Onlines, and it's basically going to be a deep dive into small unit combat and foam fighting, and kind of talking about strategies there, how you build a like competent pod of fighters, how like you maneuver a line, stuff like that. I've never really done it because I kind of feel like I don't have the rep to do it, and also I'm not sure that's something people would be interested in. I'm going to do it at some point. If you're interested in that, let me know, because if people are actually interested in it, I'll be a little bit more motivated to actually do it. It'll be a few episodes long, going over like PowerPoint presentations and probably some video presentation, talking about just like field strategy for single life battles, respawn battles, all with like a focus on the Belagarth like dagger here fighting system. So if you want to see that, let me know. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into this. We're probably only going to watch the first like 10 to 15 minutes of this. We have some Sword and Board tournament footage. Again, this is off the, or once again, we're using Gorg the Blacksmith's like YouTube channel to snipe some footage. From Bellum, Aeternis 11, Darkon Shield, and Short White Weapons. So this is actually going to be Darkon rule set, I'm assuming? Which I don't think is too dissimilar from like the Bell and Dag rule sets. Hearthlight 2, now that's a thing nowadays.
11, 2023 in Culpeper, Virginia. This is Sword and Board Firebrand Tournament. Darkon rules.
Why is this fellow so frowny? Looks like he throws a leg shot and the guy in the yellow tunic
23 in
takes him
Culpeper,
out.
Virginia. This is Sword and Board Firebrand Tournament.
Is he thinking he got both legs?
Virginia. This is Sword and Board Firebrand Tournament. Darkon rules.
Maybe I'm overreading it. The dude in the brown jerkin looks like he's kind of frowny from that, but maybe he thought that second leg shot was significant because it kind of bounced. When good on the first leg, bounced to the second. Is there a significant force in Darkon? Because this looks like it's kind of a light shot. Maybe if it's going to the outer arm there as it's coming down, there's a bit more force behind it. Nice try for the stab. Yeah, that lefty dark side is super good, especially like if you're a taller fighter. Coming up over the top of their shield. It's really hard for like anytime like a lefty, unless you fought a ton of them, anytime they go for that like that primary, you know, lefty chop, lefty like scoop angle with their elbow and forearm, I feel like people are, you know, they have a really ingrained habit to like suck their shit in to cover that right side, and a lot of times they'll bring their shield over as well. And a lot of that's just due to like unfamiliarity. I've seen fighters who are very good at not over moving their shield. That when they go to fight lefties, because it's something that they haven't done a whole lot, they are a little bit more uncomfortable. They're more prone to sucking their shield in instead of just maybe catching it on the weapon, like they would be comfortable enough to do if they were fighting a right-handed fighter. And that kind of suck in really opens up that shield side shoulder as you suck in to cover your sword side lane. And like that initial, that like throwing under to dark side up as that lefty, it mimics that like classic lefty, I'm going to be throwing for your sword side hip. He just seems kind of trying to force it though at this point. Didn't really see a lot of setup on that one. Got armed as well. Yeah, so I'm wondering, is there a significant force in this game? Because again, you know, I'm not really saying like it's bad if there's not significant force, but that just seems like pretty light, you know? Oh, yes, the honor.
No magic switch. That was hilarious. I told you. He said he threw the fight to come over there. I don't know if that was true or not.
Huh. I'm gonna let this roll while I Google.
Thank you so much. You're a hero. He let me borrow his chair.
What the fuck? Darkon rules? Darkon Wargaming Club. So I'm gonna start calling my bats from now on our Wargaming Clubs. Well, alright.
Fancy roll.
Oh, let's see. Combat. Page 18. On our quest to see if there is significant force in Darkon. Okay, so in Darkon, to count as a legal weapon hit in Darkon, the weapon must be under the full control of the wielder at the time of contact, make contact with a legal strike zone, or make contact with the target player with a designated striking surface, make contact with a legal strike zone, be moved with intent by the wielder in a safe manner consistent with the weapon's appropriate rules, appropriate uses, be moved so that each strike is separate and distinct, be delivered with sufficient force. Yeah, it's there. Sufficient force defined as enough forward momentum that an unaware opponent wearing 10-ounce leather over clothing can distinguish a strike as offensive rather than incidental contact. Oh. Sorry, gang. Sorry if that was triggering for you. I don't know why my alarm is going off. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the hit calibration is just lighter. Yeah, absolutely, like, no hate or judgment. I just didn't know that about Darkon. And maybe I just have a bad read because, you know, I've been on the Pacificos. Yeah, from the shield side wrap from Pink Shield here, I always really like this shot. And it's pretty easy to, not easy, but there's a few different ways you can set it up. I'm kind of like about a hot medium on the way he sets it up here, where you begin from a little bit far out with this like left foot step, and then like transitioning to that right foot forward, and then as you move, you kind of pop up and throw. So obviously it works here, but some critiques if I were to offer it, I don't think you should ever really be leaving the ground with your feet like that. Just, injury, lack of control, the fact that I'm not sure how much, like, get out of here, domestic terrorist. I'm not sure, like, how much you guys agree with this, but I just feel like, it locks you into a direction for a while. If this guy didn't get the over the shield wrap here, he's absolutely not defending his legs in, like, any shape or form. So it just seems kind of a medium setup for it. I also don't like to throw my flat wraps square like this. I like to be more bladed, like real right foot forward. Aside from that, there's not really a setup at all, aside from that little, like, left foot in to right foot jump. Left foot in, right foot jump swing. There's like a little bob down before he jumps. Yeah. Little, like, head lowering to kind of sell the level change a bit better. Oh, he's using flat blade. Cool. Are you gonna do it again? So this is actually a bit better. I like this a lot more. The way he varies, like first shot he throws to this guy's sword shield side is going around the side, trying to hit that tricep. Reset, big recock. I'm not a big fan of recocking that far back, but it definitely is going to hide your intention for like another half second or so. Into cranking it, but this time instead of cranking around the side, going over the top. Actually, though, that looks like flat, so if anything, maybe it's like blade to the tricep, but, shit happens in foam fighting.
Okay, so I just realized.
Just lose the hat, bro.
Is running this pit. But we're gonna ride his wave, see how long he can last over here, and then maybe take a view of what it's like at the score booth.
Man, we've got to break down why this Gray Fighter lands no shots here, right?
Wave, see how long he can last over here.
Because, like, there's a ton of shots that get thrown. So let's count. Fake, nothing.
What it's like at the score booth.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 shots, nothing. There may have actually been a 5th one in there that we can't see. Yeah, you kind of hear that noise in the background as dude walked by, so we'll call it 5, 6, and then 7 with no contact. And it's legit, like he doesn't hit any of these. So we throw directly into the shield. A little bit slow on throwing that cross in time for this guy's dark side. Catches the side of Pink Shield as it comes back, or catches the side of Pink Shield. I feel like he just gets locked into trying to machine gun down this one spot over here. I wonder if this is kind of like the foam fighting version of just getting tilted where you throw the same thing over and over. So, like, it looks like, we start this whole interaction with a high cross, then chop, basically the same chop, basically the same chop, maybe another chop we don't see, basically the same chop, high cross die. Or die on the way to throwing the high cross. And Pink Shield Fighter does a very good job here, just staying cool, eating the blocks, waiting for that moment. And I think what triggers Pink Shield here to go for this wrap on this guy's shoulder is, one, his shield's kind of trending downwards a whole lot. All this movement back and forth from Red Shield I don't like to see here. And then, yeah, brings the shield way down over into cross, and is also moving right. Moving to his left, and the hat Pink Shield guy's right, which lets him move a little bit faster directly into that flat wrap. It's going to be really clear to if this is a flat wrap, because it's a flat wrap. It's technically not going to work unless he changes his gripping. He actually moves around enough here to hit it with the back of the sword. So, way to flat blade, my dude. Way to flat blade. Doing a good job. I've seen this fighter on the right in a lot of footage, I feel like. How long is that sword? This person's so short, but also that seems like a longer than average sword.
In the semifinals of Florentine.
So now it's getting to the point where I feel like this guy with the pink shield, pink and black shield, has been in the pit long enough that other fighters should start getting reads on what he's really doing. And with the number of like just shield side shoulder wraps that he's throwing, shield side shoulder attacks that he's throwing, I feel like you want to start cottoning onto it by now. And I feel like if it was me, the way that I would try to set this guy up for it is just be more and ready to like trigger throwing dark sides and such as like a way to kind of get him for coming out with that shield side, coming out maybe into his arm, into his armpit with the dark side. Of course, it's going to be harder to do with strap shields like Fix or Fikes or however you pronounce it is using here. It's going to be harder to come under. But again, you can throw for money. It's important to note that if you try to do this dark side while moving your shield, you're just going to like open yourself up a bit more to this shoulder wrap here. But I'm definitely talking about like after successfully blocking that shoulder wrap, or like working on the timing to where like you catch that block and then are moving over into that dark side. I've also like definitely started to come under and then stop just to see what people will do. You could definitely come like halfway into your shield, freeze for a beat just to get a read on someone. Wood core shield, my man. Yeah, big shield tends to make you a bit clumsy. This is that fucking red fighter, right? That's like all over stuff. Can't remember his name. Yeah. Looks like he tags top of the body. Oh, that's not him. Just kind of looks similar from the rear. What up, scoring booth?
People run by, yell the number of the person who killed them. 27. Puts the tally mark. 4. There's 22. He's been killing it. Apparently I'm not good luck for him because he just killed like 6 guys.
Nothing really exciting over there. Hey, it's Gorg. Hi, Gorg. I've never met this person, but I watch all his videos. I buy all my gear from him. So I got the double leg there. Yeah. I really hope that Gorg has like some super like secret tech black market special ops swords that he only uses himself and won't sell the tech for.
An impressive shield.
Leg. Get caught following a lot using a center grip like that, following the fighters like strike back up. I really like center grip shields, but if you're going to start using them for the first time ever, you definitely got to get used to not over moving them and buying too many fakes. Hit this lefty in the leg. Please, somebody just leg this guy. I want to fight this lefty. I want to find out I like the movement from Gorg. It looks like he came up a little bit short, hitting Mr. Lefty on the shield side shoulder there. I hear a countdown happening. Are we about to end pools?
That's it. Finish your fights and that is it.
That's it. Time's up.
Yeah, I'm not saying it would work, but if I was fighting that tall, lanky lefty, I would definitely be focusing on leg shots. Just, you know, that would be the place that I would start, see if that works. Chop him down.
Like a punch shield.
Word of caution, though, if you ever leg somebody who's like real long and lean, be careful like trying to go down to fight them when they're on their knees. You want to be very careful you don't lean too far forward and open up that back shot. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here. We'll make this a two-parter because this video is already at about 9 minutes, or excuse me, about 22 minutes. So, thank you, and I'll see you over in part 2.